just flashed, and I couldn't remember much, but I remember a big red pickup truck coming down the street, and it had no regard for anybody else. No pedestrians, no other cars. It ran through the light that turned red before it even came close, and Jada was directly in the path of the truck, and sadly her life was taken right then and there.
My 11-year-old brother, Nikhil Badlani, was killed in a car crash on June 11th, 2011 by a distracted driver who ran a stop sign. I was only 6 years old at the time. No one should ever have to go through this traumatizing experience.
The Nikhil Badlani Youth Advisory Board is a project of the Nikhil Badlani Foundation from West Orange High School. Our mission is to empower youth to make a difference by providing an established channel for students to express their ideas and develop recommendations for traffic safety projects. We aim to evaluate traffic safety issues, generate ideas for productive change, develop specific traffic safety improvement plans, and work with the Nikhil Badlani Foundation and the West Orange Township. And we are concerned with making our streets safer because one unsafe step is one too many. We began the year by meeting weekly to establish our goals and create a plan to work towards them. Board members chose between 3 committees depending on what they wanted to work on. The Education Committee would work on educating the community about traffic safety, and the Policy Committee would work with assemblymen and lobby for laws that promoted traffic safety. The Municipal Committee attended our town's Transportation Board meetings, conducted a study, and gave a presentation to the board. To spread traffic safety awareness throughout our community, the Youth Advisory Board presented to the 2 middle schools in our district. Our presentation discussed traffic safety statistics to make the issue more tangible to students. It also described the story of Nikhil Badlani, who our Youth Advisory Board was named after. We explained how Nikhil was a student, just like any of us, when he was unexpectedly killed in a car crash. Since, at the middle school level, kids are not driving yet, our presentation was concentrated on how to be safe as a passenger on the bus and in a family car. We also discussed how students could be safer as pedestrians and explained what our pedestrian safety pledge was. When students returned to their classrooms, they received pencils and also took the pedestrian safety pledge by putting their thumbprint on a banner. These pedestrian safety pledge banners will be hung up in the middle schools to remind students to remain safe as pedestrians. After our presentation, we asked students to participate in a couple of interactive activities. The first of which was a hypothetical scenario where a student had to decide whether or not to cross the street with their headphones in. While it was humorous, the scene demonstrated how easy it was for one small distraction to result in an irreversible fatality. The next part of the interactive activities included both teachers and students and asked them to raise their hands if they participated in unsafe pedestrian practices. It was stupefying to see how unsafe many of us are being as pedestrians. And after this activity, we explained why it was crucial to fix these habits and become safer pedestrians. We also created a Safe Driving Week in April to raise awareness for traffic safety. On the first day, 2 members ran the It Could Wait texting and driving stand, where there were trivia questions and virtual reality simulations. When a student came up to the table, they filled out a pre-survey about questions relating to texting and driving. Then, they had the option to answer a trivia question or participate in a virtual reality simulation about texting and driving. The virtual reality simulation was a 2 to 5 minute simulation about texting and driving. In the pre-survey, most students said they don't glance at their phones while in the car. Also, they said that they had a bit of knowledge about texting and driving. In the post-survey, most students rated their experience a 5 out of 5. Their knowledge of texting and driving increased after going through the interactives. The students said that they are not likely to text and drive in the future. On the second day of our planned week, we spread awareness about the dangers of drinking and driving through various activities. As students approached the Youth Advisory Board table, they had the opportunity to participate in a challenge using drunk vision goggles. Once they put them on, the students were immediately able to feel the effects of having impaired vision. The participants were then challenged to either walk in a straight line or balance on one leg. If the students were successfully able to do so, they would be rewarded with a piece of candy and a Nikhil Badlani Foundation keychain. Through this activity, students were able to see how hard it is to do a simple task with severely impaired vision, let alone drive a car. The dangers of drinking and driving were portrayed firsthand to these participants, which we hope urged them to inform others of the potential consequences. In order to see how effective our message actually was, we created a pre and post survey regarding the topic, with various questions that gathered data regarding the students' knowledge on drinking and driving. Students were then asked to read various facts about the dangers of driving under the influence, which included various statistics on deaths from crashes in the nation. The students were then able to participate in a trivia game in which they answered questions that ranged from basic facts to startling statistics. If several questions were answered correctly, the students would receive a prize. Finally, in order to see how much each student actually learned from our informational activities, we asked them to fill out a post survey. We found the students were able to answer many more of the questions correctly after participating in trivia, showing that their knowledge about safe driving increased. On day 4, we focused on letter writing and increasing the awareness of traffic laws. Participants wrote and signed letters in order to bring the issue of driver and pedestrian safety in New Jersey and the nation to our Democratic representative of our district. We educated the students about Michelle Sue's law, the Move Over law, Nikhil's law, and GDL through the use of a survey. Interestingly enough, most of them knew how many stages of GDL there were, but not many knew about Nikhil's law. Also, we collected around 100 signatures from students to advocate for Michelle's bill that would be sent to Assemblyman Wimberly. Later on in that year, we plan to meet with the Assemblyman to show our support for Michelle's law and discuss how we can help get the bill passed. Michelle's law is a bill that requires a blood sample of the driver to be taken immediately at the scene of a fatal accident. On day 5, and our last day of Traffic Safety Week at West Orange High School, we focused on pedestrian safety and its importance. We began with the pre-survey that asked various questions about how students act as pedestrians, such as whether or not they look left, right, left when crossing the street. Then, students picked a trivia question out of a basket that focused on many aspects of pedestrian safety. Students chose from a range of answers and often were correct, and then moved on to take a post-survey which asked similar questions to the pre-survey. The questions in the second survey were similar but worded differently to ask students if they would make sure to always look left, right, left again in the future. After they had completed the activity, the students were rewarded with a piece of candy and a pencil, labeled with our logo, which they thoroughly appreciated. In doing this, it became clear that while students at West Orange High School have a sense of basic pedestrian safety, they had a lot to learn, and this activity helped significantly. As a way to extend participation in driver's education at West Orange High School, the board also worked to install a mural in the hallways of the school. Throughout April, a team of artists and the Youth Advisory Board worked after school to paint the mural. On May 3rd, the mural was unveiled to the school and the town. The mural is centered around Nikhil's pledge, which is often overlooked in driver's ed classes, but is vital for young drivers to know and understand. Around the pledge are blank stop signs to be filled in thumbprints for each class of driver's ed students. Upon passing the written state exam, students will signify that they are taking Nikhil's pledge by placing their thumbprint on the wall. By doing so, the mural will evolve to be a picture of all the West Orange High School students who are pledging to be safe drivers. By placing Nikhil's pledge in the hallway of the school, students are forced to consider the gravity of their driving behaviors as they pass by throughout the day. Nikhil's pledge is often glazed over in class, but the mural forces the safety pledge to be a core part of West Orange students' daily routines, which translates to better road behavior.